Good afternoon, guys. Thanks for tuning back into my channel. My name is Nakia, and I am in my second semester of LPN school. And I thought I would just switch things up with this video. I'm normally filming from my desk. Today, I'm just sitting back on my futon, relaxing. So, today is a very special day because it is my oldest son's birthday. He turns 20 today. So, right now, he's, just trying to deal with life, as an adult. And so not to really let everybody in my business, but right now my son is incarcerated. So hopefully we're still remaining positive that he will just get things right. And when he gets released, he will be a totally different person and I will have my son back. So I just wanted to share that little insight today. I'm always thinking about them, and no matter how old your children get, they're still going to be your babies. You'll never stop, thinking about them and praying for them. So, I'm a positive person, so I will continue to think positive things and keep them in my thoughts and prayers on a daily basis. And this will conclude the week 6. These weeks are running together, guys, and everything is going by so fast. So this week has been a very busy week. I will start off with SimLab. SimLab for us, is mainly online. Everything is virtual. We have had, I think, 3 assignments so far in my SimLab. The downfall of it is just, everything is completely online. It's through my website called Swift River, and I have mentioned that several times, throughout my first semester and now this semester. Even though last semester everything was on campus, and this semester everything is virtual. So, still continuing to complete all of the assignments, which I have, and the assignment that I just completed was on schizophrenia and dementia, which we've already finished the modules on those 2. So everything that we complete in class, it converts over with our Swift River assignments. So it helps us, learn about some medications for both disorders, and it allows us to get into the mindset of when we do start our mental health clinicals, which I will hit on that in a second, we will know what to look out for. We will be prepared. So basically with SimLab, everything is online. I'm praying that things will change soon to where we can be on campus because I'm a hands-on learner. I think majority of all of my classmates, we all learn better by physically touching things and seeing things in real life, so you'll be able to retain the information much better. So basically all we got to do for SimLab is just making sure that we complete those assignments, before the due date. And I think the due date for that assignment was for tomorrow. And I think I finished it maybe 2 days ago. And the only downfall about those SimLab assignments is that you have to get a certain grade, which is fine. And then the other part, you have to be on that particular assignment for a certain amount of time. So our first assignment, I think you had to be on there for a total of 3 hours. And then I think these last 2 that we completed, you had to be on it for a whole hour. So that one wasn't bad. But that first one for the 3 hours, some people go through those assignments much faster than others. And especially if you've done it so many times, you can kind of memorize the answers. Even though I know it's not good to memorize things, you got to actually know the information. But some are just faster than others. And once you're doing all those questions and stuff over and over again, you kind of tend to memorize the answers. So that's basically it for SimLab. Now, as for lecture, of course, my lecture days are Tuesdays and Wednesday mornings from 9 to 12:30, and typically we do not be in there. We do not be on lecture for long amount of time. She typically starts us at 9. It depends on the lecture, how long it is. If it's a long lecture, yeah. I think the latest I've been on the online platform, at the latest, I think it might have been 11:45, somewhere around about that. And then once she completes our lectures, she gives us some review questions for what we just completed. And that helps a lot, because if there's something that we didn't fully understand, we'll have ample enough time to ask questions about it. So my instructor is so great. She's really, I can tell that she's really for us, and she wants us to excel, and she wants us to become, successful nurses. So that means a lot when you got your instructor behind you, And then at the beginning of the lecture, before she even began, because we have to log on at least by 8:45. That way she can go ahead and, count everybody who's in for attendance. And she has some soft jazz music playing, and that's what I like, because I love jazz music too. And it puts you in this mellow mood, so everybody won't be so, uptight and tense. So that really helps a lot too. We will have our second exam tomorrow. And if you missed my previous videos, I did bum my first test, but that's okay. I think it's normal, and I think it's common for someone who's in the nursing program to bum at least one test. I've heard of people failing at least 2, but I'm not trying to fail, 2 exams. And I'm not really going to say I failed it, because I didn't get a D or an F, I just didn't reach, the passing grade, put it that way. Because my community college, an 80 is passing. And me being the type of person that I am, I'm hard on myself, and so I always like to get above 80, So I'm praying that tomorrow, with all this extra studying I've been doing, and indeed I did study a lot on my last test, but like I mentioned before, there were other issues when I took that test that were affecting my ability to pay attention and to remain focused on the test, like the room being cold, like we were in Alaska. We weren't sure if we could wear earplugs, which we can now. And I showed you guys mine. They're just the orange ones that you rub in your hands and you just insert in your ear. We can't have like Beats or anything wireless or AirPods. They just got to be regular earplugs. So I will have those tomorrow. But when we took the first test, you weren't supposed to bring your Apple Watches. You weren't supposed to bring in your cell phones, And if you did, you had to turn those off. And you were supposed to leave them at the teacher's desk. And, you got to have some hard-headed people in the class. But I heard some of their cell phones, buzzing in their purses. I heard the excessive clicking of the mouse. And then when you finish, you have to raise your hand and get your teacher's attention. And she'll walk over to you and you'll let her know that you're finished. Or you might have a question or something, or need some more clarification on the question. So I heard all of that. I mean, I'm just used to taking exams from the comfort of my home office, being able to read the questions out loud to myself. That helps me better understand what I need to focus on. And so we are just going to do the best we can tomorrow. And hopefully, having my earplugs in and wearing a much warmer jacket, because tomorrow is supposed to be cold. So I'm going to have my nice warm fluffy coat with me, and hopefully that will help me be more relaxed and more comfortable taking this exam. So we shall see, and I will be uploading a video on how I did, and I'm praying, and I'm already claiming it, that I will pass that test tomorrow. Clinical. Okay, let's see. This week, oh my God, I did so much in clinical on Thursday. Of course, you guys know that I have hung up the primary and the secondary IV fluids. I have, of course, given injections, IM injections. You know, I'm way familiar with that because I work in a pediatric clinic. So I did a Lovinox injection, and that's a Lovinox is for or is insulin. It's heparin, actually, not insulin, and that's to help prevent blood clots. You know, so and I had a kind of a fairly large patient, so I inserted that in the back of her arm. I also checked her insulin, and her range required her to have her insulin, and so I gave her her insulin as well. And I always give insulin in her abdomen. Let's see what else. Of course, monitor her input and output, which we call short I&O. I, of course, gave her morning care, and then I did a wound dressing, and she has a sacral wound, and so it was fairly bad. So after we cleaned her up well, we went on ahead and got in my sterile gloves, and I did the dry to wet dressing, because the 4x4s were dry and you had to put the solution in there, and then I just placed it where her wound was, and then I put some dry ones on top, and then I put the ABD pad, and then I went on ahead and taped everything up and took the measurements. And that just reminded me that I forgot to put the measurements of her wound on my head to toe assessment. So little things like that, you have to be very tedious on your head to toe assessment of everything that you did for your patient from A to Z. And also, you know, just let your teacher know, and also let that morning nurse know everything that you did when you report off. Any high or abnormal lab values or vital signs that you get while you're there, you have to report off to your morning nurse. Of course, the input and output, how much she ate, which of course she was on a clear liquid diet, so she didn't physically eat anything, but she has a NG tube, so all of her feedings went through her tube. I got to do that too, so that was very interesting. I was like, okay, it's going to be fun. And my clinical instructor was like, not only is it going to be fun, but you're actually going to do it. So she keeps us on our toes, and even though, you know, you may do some skills that is your first time ever doing, she'll be right beside you to guide you through each step. But my main thing is I want to master setting up an IV. I've written all the steps down. I've watched some more videos on my ATI, but it's not clicking unless you're physically in there doing it. So that's where the sim lab comes in, that we really, really need that, you know, that experience to just be hands-on. So hopefully before this semester is over, we can go back to campus and do some sim lab skills. So that's my prayer. So guys, this was a 13.5-minute video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will continue to give you these great videos every Sunday. And if this is your first time joining me, thank you and welcome. And if this is not your first time, you are a faithful subscriber, please continue watching. Hit that like button, comment if you will. If you got a question to ask, please feel free. And hit that notification bell so that you will be notified for every video that I upload. Until then, guys, stay safe and be blessed. Bye-bye.